Right guys, welcome to your 8th live lesson. Okay, today we're going to be doing area of shapes. Okay, as usual, I'm going to be turning the comments off. Okay, once you're tuned in and you're settled, can you have a go please at the start or on a page? Again, we do similar topics each time, only because it makes them stick in your brain and you'll never forget them. Okay, it's a really important thing to do. So green one's worth 3, red one's worth 1, and yellow one's worth 2 points, guys. Make a start on what's on the page, please. I'll give you another 3 to 4 minutes to get us done, guys. Okay, guys, last minute, then I'm going to move on. Right guys, so very quickly I'm going to go through each of these, okay? So we've got 2,261 divided by 7. Okay, I'm just going to change colour for this picture so it looks better. 7 doesn't go into 2, carry 2 over. 7 goes into 22 3 times, remainder 1. 7 goes into 16 twice, remainder 2. 7 goes into 21 3 times. So my answer is 323. 2 points for the first one. Next one. 967 adds 6,754. So 6754. 967. Add them together. Okay. First one is 11. Then 5 plus 6 plus 1 is 12. Then 9 plus 1 plus 7 is 17. And 6 plus 1 is 7. So my answer is 7721. 1 point. Next one, again, a little bit of timesing, okay, so it always comes up, okay, it's important you learn how to do it. So many year 10s and 11s don't even know how to multiply two numbers looking like this. So it's really important you know, and you've got your own way that works every single time. We've got 48 times by 95. 8 times 9 is 72. 9 times 4 is 36. 8 times 5 is 40. And 4 times 5 is 20. That leaves me with 0 in the first one, 4 and 2 is 6, 7 plus 6 plus 2 is 15, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So my answer is 4560, 3 points. Next one. Okay, 6x plus 50 equals 86. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that plus 50 first. In order to get rid of a plus 50, I'm going to take away 50 from both sides. I end up with 6x. Plus 50 minus 50 makes nothing. 86 take away 50 is 36. And then I'm going to divide by 6. I know that x equals 36 divided by 6 is just 6. That's 3 points. Bit of expanding brackets. This is a topic we did last week. So 6 times 2 is 12. Y times y just gives me y squared. Plus goes in the middle. 3 lots of 6y is just 18y. So my answer is 12y squared plus 18y. 2 points. Okay, I've got 4 plus x minus 3y minus x plus 9y. Okay, so 4, okay, I'm going to put the shapes on certain things. I'm going to put a shape on the x's. I'm going to go for a rectangle. I'm going to put an oval on the y's. And then I'm just going to underline the last one because there's nothing else. That's the only one of that certain type of thing. So x and x take away x just leaves you with nothing. Minus 3y plus 9y is positive 6y. And then that plus 4, a positive 4 just has to go on the end because there's nothing else to go with it to simplify with. So I can't be putting with a y. So my answer is just 6y plus 4 for 1 point. Last three. 17.5% of 480. 10% is 48. 5% would be half of that, be 24. 2.5% would be half of that again, be 12. Now my answer for 17.5% is all of those bits added up. So if I add all those up as well, I end up with 84. So my answer 17.5% of 480 is just positive 84. 1 point. Shares £65 in the ratio 6 to 7. Okay, draw a line by here. Okay, add my shares at first. 6 plus 7 equals 13 shares. I divide my amount of money by the number of shares so I can work out how much one share is worth. 65 divided by 13 gives me £5 per share. If it's £5 per share, this person gets £65, this person gets 7. £65 is 30. £5 is 35. You know that's correct because that still adds up to 65. That's that one done for 3 points. Last one. Add 1 over 7 and 2 over 3. Okay, I've got to make the bottom numbers the same, so I'm going to times them together. 7 times 3 is 21 on the bottom of both. Plus goes in the middle. 3 times 1 is 3. 7 times 2 is 14. Add them up. 3 plus 14 is 17. The bottom number just stays the same. 17 over 21. Right guys, that's those done. That's out of 2. That was worth 2. It's altogether out of 18. Again, you can DM me your score on that if you want to. It's up to you. Again, your aim is to either better your score or consistently get a high score each time. Okay, so you make it better each week. Anything over 15 is really, really good. Right, area of shape. So, super straightforward just to start us off. Just for those that don't know, this isn't what we're doing today, but I'm going to touch on it anyway. Area and perimeter of the following shape. This is a rectangle. So to do the area of perimeter of a rectangle, area is just length times width. My length is 10, my width is 7. 10 times 7 just gives me 70 centimeters squared. My perimeter now is all the sides added up. So I've got to do 10 plus 7 plus this 10 which they haven't labelled, and that 7 they haven't labelled as well. 10 plus 7 plus 10 plus 7 gives me 34 centimeters altogether. So my perimeter is add up all the sides, area is do length times width. Right guys, get that example written down just so you remember what it is. Have a go at the one on the right hand side for me, please. I'm going to do the one on the right hand side in a minute's time. Right guys, this one on the right hand side, area is length times width. 12 times 5 gives me 60 centimeters squared. And then perimeter, 12 plus 5 plus this 12 which isn't labelled, plus this 5 which isn't labelled, gives me 34 as well. So my perimeter for both is 34 centimeters. That should make some sense, okay? Make sure the left hand one's down. It's important to have good examples in your book. Right then, so area of parallelogram, exactly the same thing. Now we're just going to be doing area, okay, for this one. All a parallelogram is a pushed over rectangle. Now the area doesn't change, and that's the important thing to note. So your area is base times vertical height. Okay, now I suggest when you're doing questions like this, always cross off the number you don't need. Okay, my base is 11, my vertical height is 5. I don't need 7, so I'm crossing that off. That's just there to trick us. 11 times 5 gives me 55 centimeters squared for my area. Okay, very straightforward. Okay, don't get confused just because it's slightly slanted. Okay, it's the base times the height. Have a go at the one on the right hand side as well. I'll give you 30 seconds to do that. Right guys, so area for this one over here, exactly the same thing. Cross off the number you don't need. We need our base and we need the vertical height, not a slanty height. Base is 15, times by the vertical height of 6. My area is 90 centimeters squared. Okay, make sure that's written down as well. Okay, first one should be written down as an example, and then make sure you got that one correct. If you do get it, that's brilliant. Right guys, have a go at some of these, okay? There's some areas, again, if you can't see certain ones, leave them out and do different ones, okay? Have a go at some of these, please. See if you can find the areas of those parallelograms. Right guys, last minute on this, and moving on. Right then guys, so mark whatever you've done please. Answers are in black. First one you should have got 30, second one 40, third one 5. Part D you should have got 2,400, and then on the last one you should have got 75 meters squared. Right then, so moving on, okay? Area of a triangle. Now this is one that comes up time and time again all the way through school, okay? Every single time. Okay, now area of a triangle, if you fill it in, so if you fill in the missing bits, you've got to imagine now that this is a full rectangle. If you fill in the missing bits, you can actually always fill in a full rectangle. So what happens is a triangle, whichever way it looks, is always half of a rectangle. We know area of a rectangle is base times height. So if triangle is only half, it's going to be base times height all divided by 2. So I'm going to have to do, remember, base times vertical height. We don't want these two numbers, they're just there to catch us out. Base is 12, times by height of 3, all divided by 2. All divided by 2 gives me, sorry, a bit low on the screen there, it gives me 18 meters squared. Okay, so 3 times 12 is 36, divided by 2 is 18. Guys, once you got that one on the left hand side written down and it's clear, can you have a go at the one on the right hand side, please? Right guys, so this one on the right hand side, again the same thing, you've got to get rid of these slanty sides, okay, because we don't want them. Okay, so I've got my base is 8, I've got my height is 4, my area is base of 8 times by the height of 4, all divided by 2. 32 over 2 just gives me a height, area of 16 meters squared. Very straightforward. Right guys, so have a go please at some of these questions on the page. This one, if you can't see it, is 6 centimeters. I think all the other ones are visible. Have a go, 2 minutes or so. Right guys, last 30 seconds on this. Right guys, so answers are in front of you. Okay, mark whatever you've done so far. Okay, so you should have 24, 1200, 275, 2340, 50 and 150,000 for the last one. Oh, well done if you got those right guys, really proud of you. Right, as your normal, okay, we've got a little bit of problem solving thrown in. Okay, what does a full jar of jam weigh? Okay, all of the information is there for you. Okay, it is kind of a trick question, all of these ones are. I'm going to give you just over 2 minutes to see if you can get this worked out. How much does a full jar of jam weigh? It's not 800 grams. Right guys, so for this one, what you should have got, okay, if you look at the jars of jam, okay, and look how much they go up in. A quarter full is 300. 2 quarters full, think of it as half as 2 quarters, because it means the same thing. 2 quarters full is 400. Now if you keep that going up, 3 quarters full would be 500. And then if you keep that going up again, 4 quarters full would be 600. Now 4 quarters is the same as having a full jam of jar, so 4 quarters is 600. So the answer is 600 grams. You just got to keep following that line up. A quarter is 300, 2 quarters is 400, 3 quarters would have to be 500. I mean 4 quarters of 1 whole is 600 grams. Last one guys, very last thing we're doing today. Okay, just to check you understand what you've done. Just a quick plenary, okay? Have a look at this, check you understand what you've done today. Okay, if you do, that's amazing. Okay, we got some numbers that we may not be able to see. I got a 6, I got a 4, And I think everything else you can see, guys. Have a quick go with that for me. I'll give you about a minute or so to get that done. Just to make sure you've got it absolutely nailed today. Right, guys, just to finish this off. First one, base times height divided by 2 is the area of a triangle. 6 times 12 is 72, divided by 2 is 36 centimeters squared. This one, 4 times 10 is 40, divided by 2 is 20 centimeters squared. This one is, remember the base and the height now, ignore that one. They flipped it upside down, it still means the same thing. Is 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2 is 6 centimeters squared. Down the bottom, remember you don't need the slanty height. There, 8 times 4 is 32 centimeters squared. And then on this one, you don't need the slanty height. 12 times 5 is 60 centimeters squared. Right, guys, mark whatever you've done so far today. If you got most of those right, you really get this, and I'm really proud of you for mastering another topic. If you got some of them wrong, don't worry. Okay, it's all about learning. It's all about getting better each time. Maybe have another look at this session when it goes up live later on. All right, guys, well done. Proud of you all.